I'd like to take some time to talk today about NASCAR Heat 3 again. I talked a little bit about it before, but in the last couple of weeks I've been studying some of these races they have on the esports. They got the Core Racing League with the YouTubers driving these cars into a C4R and a Winnevo. I watched both of those guys, and it's points. Sometimes it seemed fun, but the rest of the time it just seemed like a really bad wreck fest. It was not very good. I mean, it was bad. They had to start the Michigan race over because they couldn't get a lap in. Couldn't get more than one green flag lap in, and it's NASCAR Heat 3. The cars don't run like they should. They don't drive like they should. The game's not ready for it. It's not like it would be like with iRacing. The cars aren't that great. They're still out of control. You should not be able to tap the brake lightly and the car spin out. It's like completely the opposite. If you tap the brake a little, it should tighten the car up, not loosen the car up. It's like if you get off the gas, it should loosen the car up a little bit more because you're not using the automatic stop that you would like a brake. You know, I think if they work on that by NASCAR Heat 4, it would be better to do on E3 because I think the game would be better suited if you're able to get the cars to drive better. And it's almost like you can't go underneath somebody and hold a line. It's almost like these cars are sucked together where you can't make a complete lap without hitting somebody. So yeah, it ping pongs all over the place. I mean, it's not as bad as before, but the ponging still exists. I know they said something about working on it from 2 to 3. It has improved, but they haven't gotten rid of it, and that's one reason why E3 is not going to work out for these guys right now. And I think the new E3, I think the one that starts next year, you're able to sign with an actual NASCAR team. I don't know how that's going to work out. From watching some of the videos I've seen for it, they're saying you got to sign a contract, an actual contract, to drive these things for these teams. They pay you to drive a video game. Yeah, okay, that sounds good, but it's when's the last Cup champion you've seen come from internet racing? I haven't seen it. It doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds like a great opportunity for people that don't do it a whole lot, but you know, people that knows better knows that you're not going to get your next star from a online racing league. It doesn't work that way because they don't go from one to the other. You can't drive a video game car like you would drive a street or a real race car because there's nothing that would tie those two together. Those cars would not drive right. They wouldn't drive the same. So NASCAR Heat 3 needs to abstain from that for right now until they can get the cars working right. Now, more on Heat 4, my wish list. I was on the fence before about the paint booth, and now I'm seeing more and more that this game should be having a paint booth. You're 3 installments into this game and still no paint booth. You got templates, and you're able to color the templates, but they're not your car. I mean, they're paint that you can do yourself, but they're telling you what you should have this car look like. And in 2018, getting ready to be 2019 next week, you should be able to do this with no problem. There should be a full paint booth with everything. And I think they said another thing they're trying to do is add in more numbers. Now, I know that you have to get licensed through NASCAR for the numbers, but you can't. I believe you can get more numbers. I know there's going to be some numbers you just can't use because these teams are using it later on down the road. Now, I mean, they're not doing all these races. They're not doing all these car numbers. All these card numbers are not in there. I know they're not. I mean, you can look at the entry list to tell what number is and isn't used. So I think they can put more numbers in. I believe that's doable. Another thing is The dirt series, fun, not realistic. They don't drive right. They don't drive anything like a dirt car. I drove dirt cars before, and driving these dirt cars, they're not the same. These cars don't act anything like a real dirt car, so they have to get rid of that. I don't see any reason why they would keep it in there, except for some kind of fantasy deal. Obviously, it's fantasy, but you want something that makes sense when you drive it, and these dirt cars don't make any sense. Now, what they can do, I've seen now that NASCAR owns ARCA, they can use the ARCA cars in there. ARCA and Canyon. I think they can use either one of those, because ARCA and Canyon, as far as I know, both they race on every track, 1.5 miles, half mile, 2 miles, and dirt. And the road courses, there's no reason why you can't do that. I think either one of those two divisions would work out really well. It would give you a more realistic understanding of driving these cars on a game. Another thing they could do would be to you should be able to hire new drivers when you're in your career. You should be able to hire drivers. Let's say you get all the way up to the Cup Series, right, and you want to own a Xfinity Series, but you don't want to drive it. You can hire somebody like a fantasy driver from the Dirt Series, K&N Series, Truck Series. You should be able to do that. I mean, we're in 2018, getting ready to be 2019. There's no reason why that can't happen. I mean, they were able to do that in Thunder. And I want to say Thunder. It may not be Thunder, it may have been NASCAR 05 to NASCAR 07. You were able to hire drivers to drive your cars. This should be in there. I mean, there's no reason why it's not. So this I can see being a little bit easier to put in. Being able to hire your own drivers to drive the cars that you don't drive. I think another thing they could work on would be customizing your seasons, whether it's the full season or whether it's a playoff season. If you want to start off in Homestead and finish in Daytona, there's no reason why you can't do that. I think that would be, I don't think it'd be that hard. I mean, it may take up a little bit more room, but like a lot of people say, like I've always said, the more you add to the game that works right, the more I'll pay for it. I've got no problem paying for something where I get my money's worth. I mean, this game now is not worth the money it's got. It's a $40 game. It's only worth $20. Even though they got the different, they got the Dirt Series, fun, yes, but it's not realistic. Now, also the rival meter. I remember back to NASCAR Thunder 2003 and 4. They had the meter where you could intimidate somebody or draft with somebody. The longer you held the draft button, the happier they were with you. The longer you held the intimidated button, if they didn't spin out, the more they would dislike you. That would be something to do good too. Also, I believe they need to work on that. By the way, let's say you got somebody that's like Kevin Harvick in the Cup Series. Let's say he's mad at you. He's really angry at you. You go to Daytona, you're in the draft, and he moves up slightest a little bit. You go underneath him, he wrecks you. I don't see that ever happening in Daytona, Talladega, Martinsville, maybe, Bristol, maybe. The bigger tracks, you don't see that. It doesn't make. I don't understand why these work this way. So they have to fix the rival meter, or else it's just going to make it does make a lot of chaos if you run these races a lot. If you run longer races, or if you run more than one race at a night. So that needs to be fixed. The AI, better than last year, yes. Still not perfect. Still not great. Still not good. Sometimes they still don't even realize that you're even there. They will run a invisible line that only they can run. They'll hold the bottom line going in and out of the corner and hold it on the bottom coming off the corner down straightaway without scrubbing off a second or a millisecond of the speed. I can't. The cars we drive can't do that, but the AI seem to be able to hold an imaginary line that nobody else I can't seem to understand. They should not be able to run the line, the bottom line, all the way around the track, and I give up time. If I do that, I give up too much time. So the AI needs to be tweaked so they can actually run an actual line and multiple lines. A lot of what I've seen in this game, multiple lines, should be in there. It was in, I want to say it was in 2015, NASCAR 15. You're able to run different lines. You weren't able to do it like you would want to, but there was a chance of running multiple lines. Fix the multiple line. You be able to run and get your car to set up where you can run it on the high line and be better. People would ride it on the low line, or vice versa. Set your car for low line, and you'll be able to outrun somebody on the high line. So, can it be doable? I believe so. Will it work on this one? Probably not. They'll probably have to wait till the next console comes out. I do it on PC myself, so it should be on the PC version, if not anything else. So, get the lines right. Get the cars where they can actually run a true line, not the BS lines I run now. Was it another thing they're doing with the career cars is if you sign with a team that has more than one car, these cars that you're racing against have way more power than you. Instead of them not handling great, you just don't have power. You can't. There's absolutely no power in these cars. You can drive for what the heck is it? Front Row Motorsports. You can be driving with the two front row motorsports cars, and you'd be like twice as slow as these guys are, and they got the same stuff you got. So that don't make sense at all. I don't understand why that's even still the case. I mean, you should be able to, if you're driving cars like theirs, you guys should be able to have the same horsepower, same thing all the way across the board. So that doesn't make any sense to me either. Why you would sign with a team and your car is slower than the team and the other two team cars that you're with. So that needs to be fixed. These cars are so severely underpowered when you drive them to when you drive them to when they drive them. And they need to change another thing with the hot seats. There's no reason why I should be taking Kyle Busch's place. It doesn't make sense. Jimmy Johnson's place. Anybody's top tier teams, I shouldn't be doing a hot seat for these guys. I mean, the lower teams, obviously, with the 47 car, the 36 car, any of the lower tier teams, the hot seats, the lower tier teams, yeah, I can see the hot seats there. There's absolutely no reason why you're hot seating for Joe Gibbs or RCR Hendrick. There's no reason why you should be doing that. They need to work on that and get that to work, or it's working a whole lot better. I think they fix that. Like I said, the more you add, the better. The more you add to the game, the more you enjoy it. The more you add to the game, the more you enjoy it. So that thing, I believe, if you get that fixed too, a whole lot easier, a whole lot smoother. And one last thing I want to talk about: they need to figure out a way to scale the teams. I know we go from 2-star to 5-star, and there's no difference. If you do they should change it to 1-star to 5-star. 1-star, obviously, the lower tier teams. 5-star all the way up to like Joe Gibbs, Hendricks. And if you drive, let's say you get a contract offer to drive the 11 car. If you're driving the 11 car, there's no way to upgrade this car. You got what you got. And if you drive the 11 car and you're racing against Kyle Busch, He's 10 times better than you are. That don't make any sense. Because you're driving with the same team, but yet the scale isn't matched to the same team you're with. I think it goes back to what I said about the powering of the cars. I mean, if you're gonna if you want somebody to struggle with the handling and power, not just the power. I mean, you gotta make it full circle. You know, if you're gonna join a 2-tier team, get the 2-tier power. If you want to join a 3-tier team, get the 3-tier power and handling. If you're going to join Hendrix, you should be able to have the best across the board, no matter what. And the AI difficulty. They wanted to make it hard. They made it hard. Sometimes they made it too hard. The last game, it was too easy. This game, it can be too hard altogether. Yeah, you can be having a good setup, and you still couldn't catch nobody, and they're still pulling away from you. You can have a better setup than they got, and they pull it away from you. So fix the AI difficulty. You can't either it's too horrible, too bad, or too easy. You got to get that in between, and button that up a little bit. I think I'll enjoy it a whole lot better. And that's it, guys. If you like what you see, thumbs up, and give me a subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.